We waiting?
No.
I'm just gonna go ahead and turn my phone on record.
All right, we ready?
Ready is, I guess we're
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. I think we have everyone here except Alicia,
That'd be correct.
I think. And then we have minutes here. We have the minutes from March 9th. We couldn't vote on those on the 13th because we didn't have a quorum. So we'll vote on the minutes from March 9th. We've got those by email and you have a copy in front of you. Is there anything that needed to be corrected, or I will entertain a motion to accept those minutes?
I'll make a motion to accept.
So,
All in favor?
We did both March 9th and April 13th?
We did March
It
9th.
was no quorum, so we can't have, we
Okay.
can't add minutes.
Okay, any guests here today?
We have two.
Two, okay.
you're sitting behind.
Sitting here on the floor. All right, splash pad update.
I don't know if y'all been by there as of recently, but it's blue. It's blue. And one of the components that arrived months ago, we were able to bolt it. That's the volcano thing you see sitting on the side closest to Tiger Trail. The other two are in the pump house, and the adapter plates for them are supposed to be in Canada today. I will talk to the young man tomorrow, and hopefully he'll overnight those to me, and we will have those here. The state is coming to do their final inspection on the 27th. That's Friday. And and those components need to be on there to get their seal of approval. And other than that, I think everything else is ready. The signs are being printed now, and they'll be ready. Stopped in and talked to Dave today. He's getting my LPRF grant signed, everything ready. So I'll have all the signage that's required this week. And yeah, and everything works. I've worked it every day almost. I usually wait till the car ride line's good and packed, and I fire it up and let everybody see it working. Yeah. So yeah, it works, and it shoots lots of water. We're gonna have fun, guys.
Okay. My Hero and Me dance.
That's this Saturday. I haven't had a ton of Facebook responses. I think like 28, and interested. We're going, and one that says they're definitely going. So yeah, I know it's kind of new, and it's right at the end of the school year. Don't know if it'll be a stellar turnout. Going to throw it anyway. Won't buy a lot of cookies or cakes or anything just to see. And if it's a madhouse, I'll make another trip. But I am going to set up for that tomorrow before I leave work, and it'll be ready. All I have to do is go on Saturday and fire it up. Won't need a lot of help. Don't think, think we're going to make a photo opportunity. And if you want to take them, fine. If you don't, not. But as far as selling pictures, because it's the end of the school year, when I get them back, everybody's going to be gone for the summer. So I'm not really looking to do photos this time, but I will have a photo op set up for parents so that snap one on your cell phone or whatever.
So if anyone hands you their phone, you'll take one with
We will be glad to accommodate, and I'll have music and lights going. So like, I'm gonna have all that set up, and hopefully we get a good turnout, but it's pretty self-sufficient once the music gets on and, someone to help, pour punch and fill up cookie trays. But without photos require a lot of help. You gotta have somebody taking money, someone lining them up, and a photographer. It requires a lot. So not going to go through all that this time around. If it turns out to be a stellar turnout, then maybe next year we'll have a different photo op.
Okay. All right. Juneteenth.
It's like here, for all practical purposes, I have done what I told y'all I could guarantee I can handle. And that's the water slide. I have volleyball post out there. The net is with me. All I have to do is hook it up. So I'll have volleyball set up. I got Donna's Moranci has several of the little pop-up tents. I'm gonna set those up by where the picnic tables are. Bring some chairs, the way there is some shade opportunities for people who are not playing on the water slide. I got 500 water balloons, a couple of little kid pools, slip and slides. I'll have all that stuff out there. Chance and Al are going to make sure I have temporary power out there for the scenario, but they say it has to be close to the bathrooms, temporary power, and the water slide is going to be way out in the back 40, and I need power out there, so it's not a perfect scenario for me right now. I have a generator. But I think I'm supposed to have two sources. Usually I don't, but usually I'm close enough to multiple power outlets, and I set it up at the center. I won't be close to multiple power outlets, so I'm looking to kind of borrow some heavy-duty extension cords, big ones, if anybody's got, because I might have to make a pretty good row to have that as my backup power, just in case the generator runs out of gas or dies on me or something like that. Somebody can plug up to have a second opportunity, but I'll have to run cord for quite some ways and run it around the backside of everything.
We're doing this on Saturday, right?
It is on Saturday.
Fire department have those cords.
You got where you get the generator from?
It's at the fire department now.
Where you get
Yeah.
it? Okay.
That's the one I've used in the past. I figure that's the one I'll use again.
Cords.
Looks good. I don't know, we may need more, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pretty good stretch from where I'll think the temporary power pole will be and the reason why the water slide makes a lot of water, guys, okay, and if the turnout is good, there'll be a lot of people around who don't necessarily want to trek through all the mud and stuff, and I got to have a place to park, and so if I can put the water slide out, when you come into the garden, you park towards the left, there's a water spigot way out there from back when the community garden was there, so I got water available. Component number one for the water slide,
Correct.
Huh?
It's correct.
And it's grass. It's a great area, and it's really high and dry over there, so the water will kind of run off towards Jay Green's property on the backside and won't run off towards the lower area, which is down there by the bathroom, which I don't want to turn into a lake during the event. So water slide in the back 40. I hope to be able to have a food truck out there. I think even if we didn't do anything else but Wet and Wild Day out there, it generates a lot of people. So that's an opportunity. I think somebody would, and I'm gonna have music going, even if we don't have live music, 'cause I don't think that we have time right anymore to do that now. I know how Jackie had said a few things about,
It's our first year. We'll do better next year.
yeah,
So the water slide and the generator, we got that same water slide for our senior picnic last Wednesday, and we had to use the generator because William Springs Parks has no power, and it worked fine.
yeah.
I think it'll be okay.
Working with a firefighter
Yeah.
on his off days.
No, I
Yeah.
mean, and it was just us, and the fire department did
there's
it.
supposed to be
Yeah.
two. I mean, you should have a backup, and so.
Yeah.
And the little generator works just fine, so I don't really foresee it being a problem, needing it. Just in the unlikely event that there is issue, I don't want that to be the only big event out there and then it die on us.
Yeah.
Then Michael has.
Michael had to quiet, but Michael said
Yeah.
they probably need to be running.
Yeah, so that's,
Why did-
either or, that's even
I just wanted
a,
you to know it works well with the generator,
Yeah.
because we just used it last week at William Springs Park.
Did you not have two generators, but that one?
yeah, I mean, that's also, that's a viable option too, Willie, I just know I have access to one,
It
so.
works generator.
When we ran it for about 4 hours, I would say, at least 3 hours, I know for sure.
And I'll call Milton tomorrow also, and just to see if, it is Juneteenth weekend, he might have, people have other obligations, but Wet and Wild Day historically,
I can ask Bull.
and I already talked to Roy, and I saw him at the bank a couple of weeks ago, and I asked him, and he asked, was anybody else going to be out there? And I said, well, I'm just making an open invitation. Won't charge anybody for any space or anything, as long as you get your permit in order with the city, then, you can come out there and have an opportunity to make some money, because I'm hoping that there's going to be quite a few people out there, Wet and Wild Day in itself, in front of the community center, generates a whole lot of folks, okay, so,
Start
and,
pushing on social media and stuff.
yeah, and, monitoring the water slide is job enough in itself, with all the kids that we get that participate with that, so we'll need help, I'll need people to help out with some of the other stuff. I don't mind helping or running the water slide. It requires somebody that doesn't mind yelling at other people's children, because you have to. Willie, you can help me out with that.
Willie's good at that.
Yeah. Because usually their mama or daddy will be standing right there watching the whole thing, and it's like, why didn't you help me with that, sir? But yeah, so keeping kids in control for the water slide is in itself a challenge. So, like I said, I'll bring my sound system out there, and I have a playlist on the iPad. I'll just let it play. I'll do a couple hours worth of family appropriate music, and just let it play on a loop. And if we have anybody that we'd like to recognize or anything, I'll have a microphone out there. I mean, that's doable, but have you yet to have any confirmation about anybody, specific showing up or, so again, what I know I can guarantee is pretty much for a Wet and Wild Day, relocated, you know, and hopefully a food truck, you know, maybe two. I'll ask the snow cone person and stuff like that, you know, let them know what's out there, you know, and with that many kids and parents out there, there's opportunity, you know, so I don't know why they would frown at coming.
That's gonna be a busy weekend. We host.
That's too.
Tuesday.
We host the Dixie Youth Division A tournament.
Well, they all need to pull
5,
off.
6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they
I was
lose.
gonna say 5 and 6. I mean, if they're not playing, everybody can come over.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
And I have like 500 freeze pops right now. I'm fixing to freeze them. I'm just gonna pack my cooler full and freeze them. They won't stay froze long, so I'm gonna give them away as fast as possible when I get out there. And then after that, they'll have Kool-Aid in a pouch. You know, and I think Missy said before they don't really care. Kool-Aid in a
No,
pouch is just as
they
good.
Nope.
You know, so, but I do already have the water balloons. Last year we had a few, and they were really a huge success with kids, but they run out really quick. And I got the kind that you just hook up and fill up, and I got like 500. So if anybody, and I got several of the little kiddie pools, a couple of slip and slides, and I'll hook all that stuff up out there. And there'll be cornhole, spike ball, and volleyball. So that's what I got.
I think it sounds like a great first.
I hope so.
Okay. All right, it says reminder, June's regular meeting will be on June 1st.
Yeah, I think I'll be on vacation when that regular scheduled meeting is going to be
We're
there.
gonna do it at the same time, right?
You know, it's 5:30, everything's just the same. And, you know, hopefully we'll just have the splash pad will be open by then, you know, I give you the lowdown on that, and we can hammer down any food truck issues or anything that we might have for the Juneteenth celebration, because I won't be back just in time to get the park ready. I'll have it cleaned up, I'll have the bathrooms cleaned, everything will be very presentable for our, I try to keep it that way. If you had me out there lately, it's cleaned up right now, the fence rows are cleaned. It looks good.
All right, family fun days at the park versus family fun nights at the center.
Family Fun Nights at the center, whenever we first started, were kind of stellar. I was really impressed. But then as it's gotten closer to the end of the school year, they've kind of fizzled out, and it kind of, you know, I mean, don't mind being there for one or two, but they don't want to be there if it's just them either. You know, I mean, it kind of defeats the whole purpose. So I'm going to try to convert that to Family Fun Days in the park, some kind of, you know, event that'll take place if we can. Having, you know, try to find some sacks, do some sack races, you know, watermelon. If I get somebody to donate me some watermelons, we'll have watermelon, do a seed spitting contest or something. I mean, you know, nothing extravagant, you know, that costs a lot of money, but just something to say, hey, we're getting together. And we can do it maybe over in a little piece of ground close to the splash pad, you know, start it, you know, maybe get some hot dogs or something donated. But I'll still want to do family fun night. I just want to kind of trade them off. Do family fun nights in the winter months whenever it's,
think
you know,
that's a good idea.
you know, and then do, you know, so that I'm just not constantly, it's kind of like the teen center. The teen center, you know, and I don't want to jump off of it because we'll get to that in a minute. So I'll be quiet.
All right, senior program hot meal donations.
Yeah, they really already got a frown on her face. You know, there was a hot meal program at our senior program before I got there. I don't know exactly. I've heard multiple different things from multiple different people, so I don't want to, he said, she said, we just don't have it anymore,
I
okay?
can tell you it's because we did not have enough.
And
Not enough, we did not have enough seniors, and they said if it drops below 10, it's a losing proposition.
Do we have more than 10 now?
Not really.
it's on some days we do, okay? I mean, some days on average we have 5 or 6, okay? That's a typical day for Diane.
Ain't that funded though? Is that not?
It's a Murray County program.
The county funds it, but you
And-
know, the state funds the meals, but they're not gonna bring the meals for 5 or 6 people.
So
So can it not be picked up if somebody's willing to go?
so we don't do Meals on
It
Wheels
comes
anymore?
out
I
of
guess
state bill.
It's,
They basically warned us that if you get to be this low in numbers, we're gonna have to cut you off. And we-
I've heard that they drive past us going to other places, you know, but because of our numbers and lack of someone to serve it too was another thing. They having someone on staff to serve the food when it got here. There was a couple of different issues.
I guess my question, they still get money for the,
What-
funded grant, even though we got 8 or 7 or 8 people. Why can't they just
what they give us, so let me share with what they do, okay? So how the program changed and was we're sending these boxes that have 5 frozen meals, some juice, some slices of bread, fruit snacks, some cookies. It's a box of food. And there's given every senior at our location one of those. And the idea is that Diane can microwave one of those frozen dinners in there each day of the week for the senior that's there, okay?
Or they get to take them home, too?
The idea was for them to eat them there, okay? That's for them to have stuff there, food while they're there. And the problem in the beginning was Diane had these boxes of food all over the place, okay? I mean, in every freezer, somebody would rent the center and they're full of, because seniors really don't care for them, okay? So Diane would take it upon herself to fix stuff up, and Daryl, and she'd get help from some churches, and for the most part, they were taking care of themselves because they really don't want to. And they tell me, "Here, you try it." I said, "No, I trust you." Look very good, So they're not really happy with it. Now I have seen them eat it. Okay,
It's kind of like the school lunch.
It's possibly, and they do a lot of stuff in Columbia that they don't do here. They have line dancing class, and Diane has made the comment that if they did more stuff here, maybe we could grow the numbers here. But as it is right now, there ain't a whole lot going on there for them,
A lot of seniors don't have a way over it.
Which is another situation we've talked about. Transportation is an issue. And a couple of our seniors right now, Miss Thelma's 96 years old. She still drives to the center. It scares me to death. Okay.
But that's what I'm saying. Some people have license, some people never have license, and these people probably want to go.
Let me ask
They don't have a
this,
way.
is it a possibility that the trolley would do a pick up and drop off
No.
at the center?
It's because of where the trolley stop is. The trolley won't go house to house to pick them up.
Yeah.
So that becomes the issue. Some of them need mobility issues as well. Miss Lynn rides her Hoover around from wherever she lives up to the center. Okay.
Okay.
Sheesh.
So it's definitely not a perfect program, and Murray County's not going to. There was a whole lot of questions about the $1,000 that we gave to the senior program that I recommended that we keep here in Mount Pleasant, that we let the $1,000 that we donate to the senior program be for our senior program. I've been questioning about that a lot. Why it didn't go to Murray County. It's like, because I don't see that much coming from y'all to us, so.
They don't do it down here.
Huh?
They don't give us nothing.
Well, they give us Diane. I don't want to say they don't give us anything, okay? They give us Diane, and Jan Graves is the coordinator in Columbia, and she and I are working on she's not going over the top. I'm not saying she is, Willie. I'm just saying that I know she's got a whole lot that she deals with too, and I'm trying to build a bridge between she and I, so that we can do some things and hopefully make it better. And until we can make it better, we've kind of got a little game plan with, like Donna is donating a few meals a year. And a couple of churches are donating a few meals a year, and they just bring a casserole dish up there, and Diane serves that. And some of the money that we donated last year, Diane will take and buy groceries with it, or not groceries, should I say, but a meal preparation and sandwiches and stuff like that, and they'll have cold cuts one day, and stuff like that. And they prefer to eat a sandwich versus that little TV dinner, So it's tough to keep everybody happy,
Would it be a liability, like if somebody had a little church van, that they would come around and help get the seniors over there and back?
But I thought there was vans that did that.
There is. Okay, look, let's.
Am I?
There is,
Okay.
and it's a charge for it though. It's not free. Okay, and most of these seniors are on very fixed income,
Right, but do you know what it costs?
like $2 each way.
Okay, here's where I was coming with that. So I would be willing to donate $50 to pay for people to ride that if it.
Okay, Murray's Ride Share, it's a program that started recently, and that's, Mayor White and I were at the meetings in Columbia at the Murray County Senior Program, because that's where it originates out of. And one of the problems there is all the ride share people are volunteers. Okay? And right now they're struggling because gas is $4.29 a gallon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Right.
I'm not trying to make a whole lot of excuses. I'm just telling y'all the truth of what's happening. And it's, the program is there, and there's a group of volunteers right now that are passionate about it.
Right.
and they're really trying.
But there's lots of situations.
There's a
like that.
whole lot, and for this $2 that these people will pick you up and take you, you still got to pay something. You know what I mean? And a lot of these people are on extremely fixed incomes, and paying for something is just really not an option. You know,
Well, this may just have to be something that just is what it is until times kind of change.
and we've thought about trying to get Mount Pleasant to have its own van, but then you need somebody with their proper license and the insurance to go along with the
I'm
van.
gonna
I
tell
mean,
you,
it's,
if gas gets much worse, I'm gonna have to start ride sharing with my husband at work. I mean, $85 to fill your vehicle up each week is ridiculous.
But what I have here is if anybody has a church organization differently than what we are using, or anybody themselves, I mean, Victoria has already said that she'd like to cook them something, and she don't have to, but if you call the Miss Diane James or get with me, Diane has a calendar of people who have already done that. That way she didn't have 2 meals on the same day. I mean, she's really doing a good job of orchestrating this.
Is that something you could put on our Facebook page? Kind of like, because we've done like people do meal trains on Facebook, like if there's accidents or people that have surgeries and stuff. And like, so
Everybody pick a day.
Kate makes food Monday,
Yeah.
I make Tuesday,
Yeah,
Will makes
exactly. That's what we're,
Wednesday.
yeah.
So like a,
And I'm not
That'll get people
sure,
to the finish.
well, and then some people also will be like, I can't
they might buy
cook, but
food
they'll
and
buy,
send it.
they'll buy,
That's true too, Kate. I mean, I don't want to
Subway,
fiasco
something like
either.
that.
Yeah.
or they'll do like Subway or KFC or,
Yeah.
well, see, that's what I was thinking, what if we did like
yes,
I
because
mean,
people
I
do
could
like do
donate
KFC. Sorry, you ain't got no bucket. Get you a bucket and we'll get some cards and take it over
I
to
got a
one day.
tray.
And they do that sometimes, like with
You know,
some of that money that we,
Trade like this.
some of the money that we as a city give to the Murray County Senior Program that I specifically kept here in Mount Pleasant, bought them a refrigerator for their room where they keep their condiments, and because they had everything in the kitchen, but they would bolt the refrigerator shut, and it just, so they have their own refrigerator now that we bought for them as the city with $1,000 that we gave to them, so it stays in Mount Pleasant. That's what I'm saying, instead of going to Murray County Senior Program and then them trying to get them to give it to us, if we keep it, we know we get the refrigerator,
Yeah.
She has bought stuff when we had a Mother's Day event. She went and bought the stuff to do meatballs, and they had a great, wonderful spread for the seniors, and we probably had 12, 15 people show up that day. So when we host, but there's people that Diane helps orchestrate to get them together for her husband, bless his heart. She'll send him running around to get people to get them up there. And Miss McMinnis, they pick her up every day.
And even I was even thinking like on the whim was saying like gas cards or if we could give $10 a week to give to this person that could give their $2 a day to the ride share.
It's just something for us all to keep on our radar. We have a great group of seniors here that, I know that maybe my predecessor didn't get along with them so well, but they've been really good to me, and they're willing to help out. They want to come to the Juneteenth event and set up a booth out there and maybe, do something
To advertise.
to advertise for the senior program. And I say, absolutely, they want to do stuff and help out.
We all gonna get old, and I want somewhere to go.
I don't know.
I need a thing.
That's something to think. I don't know if they, I think they always did. Come from the county, doesn't it?
You already
Come
trying to
from
get in?
Diane.
You are, we over here, we might
I'm
have.
way over the hill.
Hey, I know.
And my, older than you are. And my,
Victoria, I wonder if I should answer in the
my
city
dash
vehicle driving
light's
to
on.
Nashville.
It ain't going on.
Call her.
It ain't going on.
I know she's stressed out.
Is that all? Is that all on the
And
senior?
then she's massively
I'm hoping.
stressed out. Victoria.
Is that
It's just a
it?
car.
Okay, babe, are we ready?
Are we done on the?
Yeah, I think so. Just keep that on your radar, guys.
I had a question about
Okay.
that. How many times a week does the seniors meet?
5
5
5 days a week. It's 9 to 1. Their program is from 9 to 1.
And they get fed every day.
They eat every day.
Something.
That is the actual highlight of the event. They play bingo, and the gifts for bingo are donated to Diane. I mean, she does a great job above and beyond. Diane James is awesome.
She asked me for maybe somebody from the city or even the board, come and call bingo for them sometime. Let's just be somebody different. So I said I was gonna try to go.
What
over there.
time is it? Do they 11 to 1?
9 to 1.
9 to 1.
9 to
So
1.
they just like somebody come and do bingo for one night, and Donna, maybe you can make them some, you love to bake. We make the
What
salad.
time they typically eat?
Huh?
What time they eat?
I'll Anything else, I'll do.
I really do think if maybe we put it out there and made it a little bit more known that one of the struggle of what's going on.
A lot of people don't know.
Yes.
Well, and and that's why we're talking about it now to get this whole thing. These will start. Like I said, the TCAT guys, the instructor's great. Diane is great. I've got great people right now inside that building, hosting 2 really valid programs. And
And
so
all these kids that need these hours,
Yeah.
instead of coming to water day, they can go over there and call
Oh,
bingo,
yeah.
or they can
There's opportunity.
interact with,
Maybe we can start having something maybe to help raise some money for them.
well, and that's what Diane had mentioned about possibly at Juneteenth. Maybe they
They can set up a donation booth. I
or
mean, a donation.
they might make fish sandwiches or something. They might do something
Oh,
different than. So now we try to help them out with that.
Yeah, sandwich.
Or buckets of KFC. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but yeah, something.
Yeah.
Movie over yet?
Chicken salad. Chicken salad.
They're trying to stay out of that, so they're going to stay out of the whole thing.
I mean, they will give you cookies or something. Or you can say, "Oh, get cookies and bread."
If I make sick.
She would like you breakfast so much.
I mean, I think we've said many times how the cookies are our favorite.
Okay. Everything's good. She's breathing better now.
I think I said the highlight of my Santa Train week is those cookies, those free
We
cookies.
got that now.
All right,
Okay.
teen program.
The team program is shut down for the year. I went ahead and stopped it the other day. We were painting the splash pad and I couldn't stop painting the splash pad to go run the teen center. And right now I'm manning that by myself. So, Victoria came to fill in and she had one person. That's, well, sometimes that's how it is, it's just the one, and for the last several months, I kept track record. My best day is usually about 5,
But they're gone by.
they're gone by 3:30, and I have one that stays till like 4:15, and so I shut the program down for this year. I know there's some times when I could go back and pull all the records. I think some of my bigger days were like 21 kids, but never the 50, the 75, and I was Clark Hill, the young man who was running the center with Kane before I got here, told me that I had too much structure in mind, or whenever I was telling them how things were going to be, that these rules were on the wall, and why were we not already kind of following these things about like no touching or kissing or anything like that. I mean, it's a real big problem for me, even out on my canopy. You know what I mean? It's like. And it's out on the canopy, which is on camera. It's like, guys, I mean, I can see out through the window.
We have to have 4 more employees
They
to
got
monitor
the
all
kids,
this.
they go home, they go home, kids.
It's like, yeah. So, yeah, but there's Tracy, listen, the TCAT instructor came to my table where I sat checking people in and out. He said, look, I really hate to bother you. He said, but there's some stuff going on the other side of that column that I just don't feel is right. And I was like, oh, okay. Of course, I couldn't see it from my vantage point. But yes, it needs to
They
be
don't even know.
either staffed properly. And the more staffing you have, the less freedom they have, the less turnout you're going to have anyway.
Yeah.
I
So,
mean, we put pen to paper on it, and it's costing about $500 a week to staff it. And to me, it's a service for parents that don't want to do the car rider line.
I recently paved the parking lot, guys, okay? Not paved, excuse me, full coat and striped. And the guy worked on the West Hall side first, and he did it, and then, well, I had seniors in TCAT, I had to have a place for them to park. And I was like, how long do we need to let it dry? He said, well, they can drive, don't, turn real sharp on it, they can come on it. But when I opened it up to let them on it, well, it freed it up for all the school traffic to come on there. And I about had a heart attack, okay? Because I didn't really know what to do. At this point, it's kind of like it filled up like really quick, The QHE Center is the approved pickup spot for everybody who doesn't want to be in the car rider line.
And the girls softball field is too.
Is that right there by that little, yes. And it's a lot. It's a whole lot. And some of the tires have aggressive tread. very aggressive tread.
I think a lot of times why people do that though, because you pay attention to the line. If everybody got in that car around the line, you would be backed up.
Oh, I know.
With the middle
Oh, really?
school and the elementary school. Everybody can't get in line.
It's a lot right there. And so,
I think it's the taxpayers paying $500 a week to control that. I don't
Yeah.
think that's very-
Oh, you're talking about you're just talking about picking the kids up.
Yeah.
He's
he's talking
talking
about just using the parking lot.
Yeah, I'm not talking
yeah.
about, no, I'm not talking about the
So-
video.
For
I'm
using
saying
the
the
parking lot
traffic.
and the inside of the community.
Yeah, I'm talking about the traffic while they park over there, because you can't get nowhere to go.
But if you notice, I kept the East Hall side locked
Yeah,
off
I saw that.
for the entire, after I got done, because of course it's on the splash pad side, and that's really the reason why we started this whole project, was because I had to have ADA compliant handicap spots there, which we were not ADA compliant, and the only way I could get rid of those was paint over them and separate them by the minimum required space for handicap van accessibility. It's got to have a wider space, so I could no longer have 3 handicap spots, just 2. But I needed handicap spaces or ADA accessible spaces for the splash pad as well. It's part of the grant requirement. I have to be ADA compliant. I feel that we've gotten that with this, but I wanted to make sure it was stayed pretty on that side. And even though I let it stay shut down for all those days, you can still see, the black gets over the white lines, it gets all over the blue with the
So are we doing
wheelchair.
something different for the teens program in 2022, 23? Is
Well,
what's
that was kind of my recommendation. I don't know, really, guys, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I don't mind doing it, I just don't know how valid it truly is versus some later in the afternoon type stuff like family fun night, some other activities that might be better suited and better received, I had the majority of the kids walk right past me on their way wherever they're going, and I'm under the impression that a lot of it is because of the structure that's in the community center right now. And guys, I won't kind of back off of that. It's going to be that kind of structure there. It's not enough of me to manage, so there is zero tolerance. There is no cursing, there is no touching, there is no roughhousing. You can go
It's
play.
liability for the city.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I guess if I could suggest anything, I do know that there are some kids that enjoy to come play basketball and play this stuff. So maybe if you did, especially in the fall, since we have several home football games, if we had like maybe one night after a home football game.
Those are the things that
It could be a fifth quarter, but you gotta, I mean, you can't just say the teen center's open. You're gonna have to have
Yeah,
food, it's
specific.
gonna have to have advertisement. I think it would be a
Well,
good.
that's the schedule I could put together if that's
And
a,
you have to kind of look at the game too, like look who it is, invite the other team. They don't always come, but I mean, just if you're gonna not do it, because there will be some kids that do like to come that are not gonna get to anymore. That would be like, okay, well, we can go play basketball tonight.
and I'm not opposed to also, because I've got those goals, guys. That was the next thing I was thinking, and I don't know what kind of liability it is for Mount Pleasant to have basketball goals sitting in the parking lot, but I have them pulled outside for events so that they're not inside the West Hall for rentals of portable goals. And the kids are playing in the parking lot at every event.
Well, me and
'cause they're-
Philip were talking. I know we don't know if it's city or if it's county property, but where the old outdoor one, can we not do something with that?
My intent has always been to paint
Especially
it.
now with the splash pad
If-
with the older kids.
That
That
were
would,
just, Eric wants to put the golf.
He wants to put mini golf out in that area too. I know I can't build any structure in that area because of field lines, but I don't know that we can't always, I mean, Rodney and I were talking about it, and he says for a chunk of it, I can't build because of the septic field lines, but there's space for gondolas or pergolas, and there's stuff to be out there. And even perhaps, playground equipment was recommended, so, but you got to stop for a minute because we don't want a lot of stuff tracked on and off of that pad, guys.
I mean, I was just thinking, we don't have to do anything but buy a goal and.
But Missy, I like the goal idea right there. There's a
I mean,
pad, and it's not big enough for 2, but it'd be big enough for 1 goal right there, and you can shoot, play
I'm
half
just telling
court.
you, you can ask Philip, you see how tall he is, but he played some many a nights of basketball, and I'm talking
Baller.
on that goal right there. He's got a score on his lip from it.
Yeah, I think I
That is
could.
county pro.
I think it is. Listen, I talked to Ryan today. He was out there. He's working with me on the AARP grant that we're working on to put seating for the outside seating for the senior program. Jan Graves is working with me on that. She's working on the grant. She just want to know, would we benefit from it? And I never tell anybody no, so we took pictures and measured stuff, but all the property in which we'd like to put the benches, actually is on county property. There's some shade trees around the trail. As you pass the splash pad, we like to put some there. And then back in that west corner where the practice field is right there, we would like to put some there. And a couple of the metal picnic tables would come with that. And we would set those in the corner of the West Hall parking lot. That way the seniors can go out there when it's nice weather and eat out there at the picnic table.
The county's not gonna say no, I don't think.
Ryan said that he already talked to me, he said it
I
would
mean,
be fine.
anything that to beautify that area.
He's really great to work with me
They're
on
not gonna-
stuff like that. So if we were going to buy the
When it's
basketball
time to
goal, I
replace it
definitely don't
someday,
think,
that might be the issue. When it's time to replace it in 10 years, that would be an issue, but to put it on there,
yeah. Yeah, I don't think Ryan would hesitate at all, let me do that if we were going to buy a goal like that. It's not cheap. I mean, because
No,
I'm looking at it
it's
for Gardenia Park. I mean, they're not cheap. But
I just think it's a
I think that-
and it's a
that-
quick, easy, it's the path.
that also solves one of my problems that you have, the kids that just want to play basketball for an hour while they're
There it
waiting for something else, I mean, it's a place to
And then
play.
that's not city property, that's county
County
property.
property.
You don't have to take, you're not liable for anything right there,
I'll definitely talk to Ryan about it.
100%.
100%.
I'll definitely ask Ryan if he's opposed to it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, we put our stuff, they donate it to them.
We have parts we need to take there.
It was your freaking idea about the basketball goal.
Listen, I am working.
How much is the basketball goal to put up out there?
Are you putting it like in concrete?
Yeah.
Yes, you would definitely.
Somebody gave me a goal to just put in concrete, and I ain't got nowhere to put it.
It's the one that needs, it has to have a,
It's gotta be a commercial, it's called commercial, and it's a pole that's got a curve in it already, and, it's not like the old ones that are on our pad right now. The ones that are on our pad right now, the one at, Clark Mini Park, and,
You know,
they probably,
they don't make them.
they probably wouldn't fly
Can you
today.
can you find out how
Yeah,
much
they're
it would
about
cost?
$2,500,
Okay,
about $2,500 is what it would cost.
we can raise that.
Gotcha.
We can raise that.
Oh, it's at KFC.
I'll call KFC. That might help us do a fundraiser.
yeah, everything, all they do is,
Love it.
I don't know, I just thought that was a,
I think it's a great idea, Cynthia. I think it's in line with what the mayor from Ardmore and their maintenance guy came to view our splash pad because, George Brogdon, the grant coordinator for LPRF, or not coordinator, but overseer, is, really good friends with, Mike Magnuson. He's the mayor for Ardmore. He's 82 years old. You couldn't tell it by his actions, though. I mean, he's spry, okay? He's hard to keep up with him. Hope I got it when I'm 82. But they have a small splash pad in Ardmore, and they're wanting to revamp it. Theirs has a bathtub drain in it, and it's a recycling system, and it keeps getting stuff into there. But they're really struggling, and they've had to put some plastic nozzles on it, like what you get for a water hose. And it's just so they wanted to revamp it and add to it, and they're wanting to put a playground right next to it, and wanted to talk about what I thought about it. I said, well, my recommendation would be no, because keeping grass and dirt off of your splash pad and out of your filtration system is key, and it's bad enough that we have grass around ours, but it's better than mud around ours, okay? Grass will get caught in my debris trap, and if I clean it daily, clean my little filters daily, and that's the first thing that I'll do every day during the splash pad months. Splash pad needs to be,
do we have a grand opening date? I know I thought I wrote one
well,
down.
the reason why I can't do a grand opening and commit to y'all, because I need to know the state's gonna clear me, and I won't know that till the
But that's what
27th.
we think sometime in June, like we,
Oh.
that-
Yeah, we'll have a ribbon cutting grand opening in June. We're just hoping it's open and.
I mean, we can, what I'm saying is, as soon as it's approved, it's open.
Yeah, that Saturday it'll work. I'll put a
Okay.
Facebook post
Let
out.
people
Says that
ask.
it's- Yeah.
And
I will.
Get in it, it's just, we'll do a ribbon cutting.
okay,
later.
but the next day,
How it works, it's high tech stuff. I give Thomas credit for that. He got us good stuff. Okay. It turns on by itself at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it goes through its cycle. And so if I'm not there for whatever reason, it's going to come on anyway. Okay. And it's going to add chlorine, and it's going to check the pH. And if there's a problem with it, then it'll trigger an alarm, and then it won't go, it'll turn it off, But if everything's working properly, it'll come on by itself at 8 o'clock in the morning, and it'll go off by itself at 8 o'clock at night. And it runs for 4-minute cycles. I know that sounds really short, guys, but the guy from Vortex made a valid point. He said mom's out there with her two boys and says, come on, let's go. The last thing he's going to do as he's leaving the splash pad is turn it on again. And then they're going to exit the pad and it's going to run for 30 minutes or however long you think it's long enough. Whereas 4 minutes is an eternity when you're waiting for it to end, okay? Because when you turn it on and wait for it to tell how long 4 minutes is, it's like, golly, I feel like I need to go wee something because it's taking forever, you know? 4 minutes is, but I have vision of mom sitting in a lawn chair right by the sensor, you know?
So
when it
maybe,
turns off the-
maybe May 28th.
May 28th, but I see zero reason why May 28th, I mean, May 27th, when George gets here.
From Memorial Day weekend, it can be used.
That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah, that's my hopes.
All right. Anything else?
I know I'm good.
I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Thank you all for showing up.